Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to a very, very important conversation. And joining me now is someone who's a former national security intelligence official. He was very closely associated in the investigation into the charges against of fraud and financial bungling, embezzlement around Muhammad Yunus. But right now, he has had to take flight because he's one of the few people who was named by the Muhammad Yunus establishment. Aminul Polash, he's already contributed a few exposés on news18.com, is now with us for a conversation. Aminul, namaste, and thank you for your time.
Uh, Thanks a lot, Dada. Thanks for the opportunity to speak about this issue to the wider audience, I guess. Yeah.
Hmm. Let me first ask you right now, the Bangladesh court has convicted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her daughter also in a land scam. They have sentenced her to life imprisonment in this case. There is a death sentence in some other cases. How would you read these charges, first up?
Like the way the court has been, not only the court, the entire judiciary has been manipulated since the day one. After 5th August, after this Yunus regime has taken over, that actually speaks a lot. That is it's kind of democracy. The not only judiciary justice is had already vanished. If we just talking about the like ICT tribunal, you know that the uh, the way the ICT tribunal has conducted the verdict of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. They've changed the law 4 times. They have changed the just issuing ordinance overnight. There is 4 ordinance changes. There are 37 laws has been changed to just doing an eyewash kangaroo court trial. And you see yesterday there was a verdict against Tulsi Siddiqui.
Hmm.
Uh, the court mentioned that especially the lawyer who was working for SEC, they told that like Tulsi Siddiqui has pressurized Sheikh Hasina to allocate plot for Sheikh Rehana and his son. Uh, Tulsi Siddiqui don't have any plot under her name, but they mentioned that Tulsi Siddiqui has pressurized using his MP post of UK. And there's an utterly rubbish thing over there. There is no proof over there. But this is on a single indication. The way the judiciary is going on now, this is on a single indication how Dr. Yunus regime has conducting the whole country actually.
Hmm. So, if it is a kangaroo court and that the judiciary has been compromised, Muhammad Yunus is a Nobel laureate and he tells the world he respects the judiciary. And it is this judiciary that overturned the charges against him. Within 3 or 4 days of him becoming interim advisor, all the charges were overturned. How did that happen then? Is it the same judiciary under the Sheikh Hasina regime, or have all these judges, is it a different setup altogether?
No, the current judiciary almost different altogether. As you say that due to so-called more pressure, the entire Supreme Court judges have been stepped down. There is all the new judges has been posted. And for your information, like the judges who conducted the ICT, they don't even have the experience to work in like High Court or Supreme Court division priority. That is, they are a kind of first trial facing. These are all new dictated by mostly Jamaat-backed lawyer, judges, and everything. And the issue you mentioned that the same how the cases was operated during Sheikh Hasina regime. Like for there are 3 cases against Dr. Yunus. Dr. Yunus always say that, and not only Dr. Yunus, his peer group, we know that he's an very good brand. He can just promote personal branding throughout the whole world, like Messiah of microcredit or something other like that. And we see that people around the world, especially Nobel laureate, some of his friends, in a higher position of Western world, they continuously issued letter under her name for her during his case proceedings. Like there are specific three cases against Dr. Yunus. Number one is his personal tax cases. Number two, the SEC case, and number three is labor court case. First of all, I'd like to speak about the personal tax cases. In 2015, not now, back in 2015, the he was what I can tell. His tax files for like 2012, 13, and 14 was re-audited, and he was taxed 15 crore taka. Then basically he didn't actually pay due taxes. So Revenue Board just issued a letter to him that you need to pay 15 crore taka as per your tax file, and that's all. And then he himself go to the court so that he don't need to pay the taxes. And that tax cases run up to 8 long years. So finally, 2023, following every step of law, finally the appellate division given verdict that he need to pay the 15 crore tax, and the tax the Revenue Board is deserving is very much lawful. So he finally paid tax in 2023. Why I'm mentioning this deed? Because like this case, if the then government under Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was like vindictive to him, or like has personal grudge to him, only single case can run for 8 long years. He has he has every opportunity to defend himself in every court of the law, right? So that is one issue, how the court was functioning at that time. The second thing comes like the labor court cases. The labor court case was issued in 2021. Why this case was actually filed? That is the very thing. At the time, like even the people who are like pioneering themselves for labor across the world, they also issued letter for Dr. Yunus, but they don't actually go detail about the labor court cases. What happened here? Dr. Yunus, he has like 50 companies under his name. He's under Grameen Empire. So basically, he don't recruit employees in his company in permanent basis. He has always recruited them in short-term basis, like zero hour contract. Because what? He don't want to share the company profit with the employer. And if you employ a company in a permanent position, the employees have some sort of right, generate some sort of right over there. They can have the provident fund, they can have the like yearly leave and other stuff. So Dr. Yunus don't want to share any profit or any facility to his employees. So that's why he always recruited employees in his company in short-term basis, contractual basis. So it's a violation of law. Number two, as I said, there is no profit sharing in his company. So you know that Grameen Telecom is a major company under him, which was supposed to be the under Grameen Bank, because it was initially funded with the formed with the fund of Grameen Bank. That was the money of the borrower of the bank as well as the state support. But Dr. Yunus has ensured his single authority over this company by changing laws number of times, changing the ordinance a number of times. So what happened here? The Grameen Telecom companies claim for the profit share. Due profit share under them, but he never. And it started back in 2017 actually. So he don't was ready to sharing the profit. So they then case filed against Dr. Yunus, and they complained in labor court. So then labor court investigate the issue that actually the employees were under contractual basis, they are deprived of their basic labor right, they are deprived of their profit sharing, and they filed the cases. And the case was filed in 2021, and Dr. Yunus got all the opportunity to fight his cases. He recruit as many lawyers as he wants, and you see some of the media at the time with number of people, number of influential people. When he appeared in the court, he like come with an glorious way, I can say. So the that labor court, normally labor court cases should be heard out and completed in a year. That is a primary structure. But that labor court cases against Dr. Yunus was in the court for more than 2 years. And as I said, like the tax fraud cases, he get every opportunity to fight. And then finally, 2000 end of 2023, the verdict came out. He was sentenced 6 months, but he got bail at the day of the verdict, so he needed to go to the jail, but the verdict was there, and his like financial for 5,000 Taka was his financial verdict. So the issue is that this case also had he got ample opportunity to fight under law. Same thing goes for the SEC case. SEC case was started back in 2022. It was a financial fraud during the profit sharing scam of 437 crore taka to the Grameen Telecom, and it was in on process. It was not go up to verdict level. It was just the SEC was produced the charge sheet, and it was waiting for the hearing. But what we see that like overnight, when I take over the power, overnight all the court finishes. The level court case verdict finishes even before he took over the chair, like 7th August, and he took the country in 8th August, and then very immediately within weeks or months, he just finished all of his cases. So that is a difference how the court, the judiciary worked during Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's era, and now how it is functioning this time.
Hmm. So one is that he got all the judicial provisions and he could exercise all the judicial rights over a few years in the cases against him, contrary to Sheikh Hasina, who has not been given the right to defend herself. So that is one part. But Muhammad Yunus is a octogenarian, 80-year-old. He's seen as a messiah. He's a Nobel laureate, but you believe that he's a charlatan. You believe that he's corrupt and he's looted the people of Bangladesh. Why? And the other thing is that if he's such a bad man, how is he currently the interim advisor?
Uh, so that's an like interesting story. Like why basically why he's an interim advisor. I want to answer this question first because like the way his reputation was built up, the way he was backed by the uh, when I talk about like Western, I am not like victimizing or criminalizing any specific country, but you know how things operate in the world, right? So we know how like especially the peace Nobel laureate has destroyed their own country. There are a number of examples over there. So why Dr. Yunus basically Dr. Yunus was prepared for this for long since like whenever we
Mhm.
have that microcredit concept or something like that. So why Dr. Yunus actually we know Dr. Yunus, sorry, why Dr. Yunus so much famous or basically the world knows him the founder of microcredit, known if he's famous for the founder of Grameen Bank or something like that. So the very inception of Dr. Yunus fame is a lie. Basically he was not the uh, uh, like founder of Grameen Bank, not even the concept of microfinance. So there's the his inception, which started with a lie, and it built on thousands of lie over times. But whenever he get the monetary capacity under his portfolio through Grameen Telecom, Grameen Bank, then actually like this thing multiplies a lot. Like through money, he earns fame, he earns prizes, and uh, many more things. So if you just come to the first part, how I'm telling you that like why Dr. Yunus is not the founder of Grameen Bank or something like that. So Grameen Bank microcredit concept was initially started in 1976, not now, like 1976. It was initially a project under economics department of Chattogram University. Dr. Yunus was professor at that time. No, that for sure, and he was the head of economics department of Chittagong University. Just freshly came back after his PhD from USA. So at the time, the economics department of like Chittagong University has an rural economic program that is called REP. under that program, and it was Ford Foundation donated 1 lakh a thousand $100,000 for this project. So under this
Ford
project,
Foundation.
basically, yeah, Ford Foundation. So
Mm.
basically, under this project, there were two under this program there were two action research projects. One was like a deep tube well project, like in Jobra village near Chittagong University. There is a deep tube well that was used individually. So a system was structured so that people can cumulatively use this share, and how the tube well and how this impact the their agricultural development. So Dr. Yunus was specifically look into that part. And other part was like how the landless poor people, especially the women, can be brought under a formal banking structure, how they can be given a small amount of loan, how they behave after having this loan, this type of research project. And there are a number of people named under this project, like Shopon Adnan, Nasiruddin, H.I. Latif. So they different people work on that project. And when I'm talking this, I'm not like just made up my story. This was like signed. This document was signed by Dr. Yunus himself. Because like whenever Ford Foundation initially provided the funding for first 2 year, 76 to 78. So in 78, the Chittagong University applied for the second phase of the project. So
Mm.
Dr. Yunus, being the project director, himself write this project proposal, and this project proposal clearly mentioned that Dr. Yunus was not a part of the microcredit concept or even the Grameen Bank project. So when this microcredit concept comes some get some sort of uh, uh, attention and get some sort of like credibility over there. So then Bangladesh Bank take that concept, the Chittagong University send their project outcome to Bangladesh Bank. Then Bangladesh Bank came forward and uh, set up a Grameen Bank project. Bangladesh Bank donated 100 crore taka to this project. Bangladesh Bank requested Agricultural Bank and Sonali Bank to take over this project and get in Tangal Jela and Chittagong Hathajari Thana. So as Dr. Yunus was the project director of like rural economic program, being the chair of economics department, Bangladesh Bank requested Dr. Yunus to become the project director of Grameen Bank project as a whole, and it was I'm talking about in 1979. So till from that time to till in 1989, Dr. Yunus was basically a project director of Grameen Bank, and then he was formally recruited as managing director. Recruited as managing director, and initially salary was 6,000. So that is the whole story actually how Grameen Bank started, and initially the government share of Grameen Bank was 60% and the borrower share was 40%, and over the time it has been like the government share has been decreased, and very few days after Dr. Yunus taking this regime, he just curtailed government share to 10%. So basically, why I'm telling the whole story that the whole world know actually Dr. Yunus is famous for to the whole world basically for this microcredit concept, basically for founding Grameen Bank. It's a whole lie. And interesting thing is that Dr. Yunus initially never claimed himself as the microcredit pioneer or something like that. Uh, Basically, it started in like 1994. There was a book under his name, like the pioneer of the banker of the poor, Alan Jones, a ghostwriter, wrote this book. And interesting thing is that Dr. Yunus has four books under his name, regarding social business, microcredit, and 30, the very recent 30 concept. All three books are written by some other guys. Carl Weber, basically. So he told that he just edited the book, but the way the narration of the book, if you go through this book, you will clearly find that that was not written by Dr. Yunus. Like
Mm.
a group of people write this, and Carl Weber like edited those books. Interesting thing is that Dr. Yunus has a book under his name, Essential Message of Quran. It is a 410-page long book that was basically the based on Quran. And interesting thing is that I'm not talking about anyone's personal belief regarding religion or something like that, but Dr. Yunus is not famous for an practicing person, but still he has a 410-page book under his name explaining the Quran. It's really surprising how he actually wrote this book. So whenever his first book, like kind of his like biography, the Banker of the Poor came out, it was in like new bestseller or something like that. Basically, from this book, this concept, the messiah of microcredit, actually started. Before that, he was like a regular employee for microcredit, but from 1994, he started this campaign. So
Mm.
this campaign, and then his fame, and it comes along with the money he generated over the time, actually.
So you're saying the whole concept of microcredit started somewhere else. He was part of the rural economic program, but it was
Right.
somebody else who was leading that project. It was the Bangladesh government or the state via the Bangladesh Bank that initially funded this entire Grameen Bank
Right.
project. It came from the state, and it's all been appropriated over the last few decades by Muhammad Yunus. So he's not the father of microcredit, but he's the beneficiary of microcredit.
Right.
Somewhere that's and the appropriator. So that's what you're saying. But who are these people who are backing him so much? How did he get Nobel if this whole thing was a charade? And since 2005, it's been Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina who's been there. And for a large part of the growth of Grameen Bank and Muhammad Yunus, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been there. So let's come to this part, that how is it and who is it that backed Muhammad Yunus, and how did this entire regime change happen? Because you are part of the national security intelligence. So can you give us a background to when was this building up? Who are these entities who are backed? And because there was a time when Dr. Muhammad Yunus was seen as close to Sheikh Hasina. Is that not true?
No, the if I'm not the word close to Sheikh Hasina, I may differ, but like I can tell that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina helped a lot throughout this microcredit project, throughout this Grameen Bank initiative, throughout Grameen Phone and other stuff. So let me give you some clear incident or example regarding this. Basically, the financial capacity how Dr. Yunus built is not through Grameen Bank, actually, not through Grameen Bank. So in 1989. Uh,
Mm,
Basically, Grameen Bank was get funds from number of donor agencies like NORAD, USAID, SIDA, like number of uh, international group funded Grameen Bank. That concept. So whenever the third phase, whenever NORAD provided a significant amount of like 376 crore taka, significant amount of donation to Grameen Bank at the time. So they, in their project proposal, there was a condition that like to build up an Grameen Bank own capacity, Grameen Bank should store an amount, should create a fund that is called Social Advancement Fund under Grameen Bank, uh, with the donors money, the amount of money the donor agencies provided to Grameen Bank, 2% of that money should be used to build a fund that is called Social Advancement Fund, so that it can help to build up Grameen Bank own financial capacity rather than just getting donation or something like that. That was the initial concept. And that
mm,
money can be used basically for the beneficiary of the Grameen Bank borrower and other, basically for the borrower. So Dr. Yunus actually using this social advancement fund. Initially, he planned to start a Grameen Telecom. So, why I'm talking about this? Dr. Yunus' whole empire is uh, standing on Grameen Telecom.
mm,
Why? Grameen Telecom is the 34.2% owner of Grameen Phone. Grameen Phone is the largest, not only telecom operator, they're the largest company as per in terms of valuation in Bangladesh. So every year, Grameen Telecom, Dr. Yunus company, every year Grameen Telecom receive at least 1,000 to 1,200 crore profit from Grameen Phone as 34.2% shareholder. So it was basically Dr. Yunus started to uh, started Grameen Telecom back in 1994. BNP government was at the time in power. Like so, Grameen Telecom was formed clearly under Grameen Bank as a subsidiary of Grameen Bank, so that Grameen Telecom can Grameen Bank being the entity can't as per the organogram, Grameen Bank can only lend only give credit to the landless people, the poor people. That was the fundamental structure of Grameen Bank and the microcredit. So, as part of Grameen Bank entity, Dr. Yunus and then the then Grameen Bank board formed Grameen Telecom so that it can collaborate with Nora and Telenor and get the share of Grameen Phone. And at the time, he campaigned in that way that the Grameen Telecom will be the huge earning source for Grameen Bank. That's why the Social Advancement Fund is going to be used for Grameen Telecom. In 1994, Grameen Telecom was started, but the then BNP government didn't give them license because one thing is that like the at that time the only telecom operator in Bangladesh was Citycell and its
Cities
owner
there.
was Murshid Khan. He was like a BNP member of parliament, and then after that in 2001 to 2006 he was the foreign minister of BNP. So in 1994 he didn't get that permission, but in 1996 after Sheikh Hasina takeover, uh, uh, Grameen Phone started. Basically, he got the license from Grameen Phone. That Grameen Phone, 34% share goes to Grameen Telecom. Dr. Yunus clearly mentioned that this Grameen Telecom, as I said earlier, and it is written in the organogram of Grameen Telecom and other stuff, that this Grameen Telecom gonna be the major earning source for Grameen Bank. That means the landless people, the poor people. That was his like campaigning. But the interesting thing is that till now, Grameen Telecom receives, I can tell about the data till 2022. Till 2022, Grameen Telecom received more than 10,000 crore taka. If I'm correct, it is 9,900 something like that. I will give you the exact data later. So 10,000 crore taka from Grameen Phone. Dr. Yunus didn't pay a single penny to Grameen Bank. So this whole amount of money actually basically his powerhouses. And then using Grameen Telecom money, he built 50 more than 50 companies. Interesting thing is that none of Dr. Yunus' company is profitable. Like as is
Mm.
need, he is a very famous person. He is a business geek. He has Nobel under his name, something like that. Like president and prime minister under his on call ahead to him. Surprisingly, other than Grameen Telecom, all of his companies is a kind of failure. So why he built 50 companies over that time? Basically, he built these companies for money layering. So like every company yearly administrative cost is over there, losses is over there, and this how actually the Grameen Telecom's huge amount of money like poured out of Grameen Telecom. The actual owner of Grameen Bank, actual owners of the landless poor people, didn't get a
Very
simple share from Grameen Telecom. So, as you said, why, Dr. Yunus, who is the benefited column of Dr. Yunus? If you see the current, his what can I tell you? Cabinet, his so-called interim illegal cabinet, you will get an idea. Some people call that is an angiogram government. It's kind of like that. The NGO people, he basically created a peer group again surrounding himself. Those has been benefited for long from his huge amount of money actually. So that's how he created a strong influential group whenever and however needed it, like even whenever he was like in 2010 when was he was not removed, he need to be removed from managing director post of Grameen Bank, because like it's a government. See, Grameen Bank is an government statutory authority under our constitution, and after 59 years nobody can be an public service or government service
correct.
holder. You know that, and it's very simple logic. It's not like it's not a hard and fast rule only for doctors. Each and everyone who is in the public service, you know that. But at the time, our Prime Minister speaking in the parliament that like uh, powerful people like Hillary Clinton and some other groups was lobbied for him to just for this uh, managing director post for a simple bank. So that story tell a lot, like how
Mm.
Dr. Yunus need to be praised on the position, because like using that position actually he made his empire of Grameen entity, whose is more than 10,000 crore, and like if I add last 3 years, it will be more than 15,000 crore money, and it's huge money. And this whole amount of money, he is the single authority of this money. And another thing I can tell you, like that could be an I am not telling the confusion that people get misjudged in that way. Like whenever Dr. Yunus recently curtailed government share to 10% of Grameen Bank. So what is the problem of that? Why if the majority the share goes to the borrower, it should be beneficial. It doesn't work actually like that way. So why? So basically, Dr. Yunus operated the Grameen Bank during his tenure. Like so, in the board, Grameen Bank board, based on the share percentage. So whenever 20 75% share is under Grameen Bank's borrowers, so 75% shareholder will come from the borrowers. And as per the
Mm.
ordinance, Grameen Bank only deal with the landless, poor people, the marginalized people of the country, and most of them they don't have that education. That is the fundamental force of Grameen Bank. So doctrine is basically pick and choose from those people to have a showcase uh, governing body member, board member. So they come sit on Dr. Yunus. The board minors is most of the time in English, so they don't actually know anything. What Dr. Yunus say, Dr. Yunus and his group say, they basically signed or give the like thumbs. That's it. So that's why Dr. Yunus just campaign in a way that I want to give the whole share to the borrowers. Basically, this way he actually captured the whole share. If government share is there, there should be some sort of check and balance from Bangladesh Bank and other entity. So from the very beginning, Dr. Yunus tried to curtail this share, and that's how it actually operated. And I'm just very recently, I just whenever I was just going through the documents for the preparation of this interview, I found an interesting document here. Like Dr. Yunus, being the MD of Grameen Bank, leased Grameen Bank floor, 16,000 square feet floor of Grameen Bank that is situated in Mirpur 2 to a Nobel laureate trust. So whenever he got Nobel, he built another entity called Nobel Laureate Trust. One people named Tobaro Hussain, he was the chairman of this trust. So initially, being in Grameen Bank MD, Dr. Yunus leased uh, 16,000 square feet floor of Grameen Bank building to that Nobel Laureate Trust. Yearly 1,000 lease money was yearly 1,000, or that means per month 83 taka only. 16,000 square feet space
In
of
Mirpur
Grameen Bank
too.
has Mirpur too, yes, has been
My
given away. Yeah, I
God.
have the document. I'll send you later. Okay, so
So,
the story doesn't end here. So initially he leased out Grameen Bank's property to Nobel Laureate Trust, and then Nobel Laureate Trust that property leased out to Yunus Center. So that means it comes back to Dr. Yunus again. So initially, Dr. Yunus lent this property to Nobel Laureate Trust. He was the giver at that time, and then from Nobel Laureate Trust, being the chairman of Yunus Center, Dr. Yunus received the same thing. So one hand he is giving away Grameen Bank's property, and another hand he is receiving it in his own pocket, and it's all documented, signed by him. So that's how actually he operated Grameen Bank over the years.
so
16,000 square feet, 1,000 per year, and the lease agreement still valid. It's up to 2020, 2032. So this document is still valid.
wow. So this is like not just round tripping of money or appropriating money that belongs to the landless and the poor, the true Grameen of Bengal or Bangladesh,
Yes.
and he's appropriated that money. So you've said that he is a scamster. He's done a lot of graft. He's cheated the people of Bangladesh. He's cheated the labor of their rights, and he's been held guilty by the courts. but he's a darling of the West. He
Yes,
was the one whose name was picked up when this entire uprising happened. So now let's
right.
come to 2024 and how did that happen, Aminul? And why is it that the West and this lobby, you've named the Ford Foundation, you've named USAID, clearly there is that Clinton Foundation that comes in and the Clintons come in. His proximity to them is very clear. He's also openly seen in the US standing with those students who were actually protesting, but he said it is because of their orchestration and what they managed that we were able to overturn this government. So clearly, this whole thing was orchestrated. Clearly, that for more than a year and a half, if he is now still there as interim advisor, there are powers that are backing him, including those within the Bangladesh army. How did this happen?
Like the way I think is that like they need actually a faith. They have an comforting image in the Western, like in our subcontinent politics. The Western image is like some sort of had some sort of value, that like not only
Mhm.
in Bangladesh, like in subcontinent politics, like we see it before in other countries also, right? So uh, the way his image was built up by the West bakers, uh, so that image helped. And it's not started in 2024. If you can remember that in 2006 and 7, during the then army caretaker government, the same thing started at the
Yeah,
very time he just newly landed his Nobel Prize, and then he started announced for the formation of a new party finally, but there was kind of immature. They didn't get any sort of like public engagement interest from that part, and that project failed at that time. So the way Dr. Yunus has been built over the time, uh, it has been uh, pretty much obvious that he gonna take over the country, but the thing is that how that orchestrated, like honorable Prime Minister has speak out those issues number of times, not only in the parliament, in public forum. People didn't actually bother. I must say. And another thing is that like I have the opportunity to work regarding his cases, his corruption and other stuff. Believe me, even my near people, there are lots of people over there, they don't believe this thing. And even before I just directly started working and starting seeing the file documents and other stuff, get to know from his surroundings, other than it was like kind of a myth. Dr.
mm,
Lewis has his character has been a mythical character, and people love this story. They fall in the story of a microcredit messiah, the gentle professor, the Nobel medal, the smiling face surrounding by rural women, sometimes the Western president, Western like head of states. So people have an image about regarding Dr. Yunus. The thing is that, as you said, mentioned about the army, not only army, the other state actors like army, I must say the like fundamental groups, every stuff, those who are benefited during last 14 15 or 15 months, they
mm,
basically need a face that will be that will control the narrative from Western, and they do their part. Like what happened in 16 months,
mm.
actually now we can talk publicly about Dr. Yunus. You are interested to hear this story, and many people also. But 16 months before, that was not the case, because
Yeah.
still now that was he was got the sympathetic vibe at that time. People didn't go detail about him, but the way Dr. Yunus ran the country last 6 months, I must say, not run the country, destroy a country in 16 months. Now people understand this people is a monster. Now, whenever I produce some sort of documents, whenever I produce some sort of uh, credible information, people believe. But at the time, as I said, whenever I worked on it, many people, even my close one, don't believe about this issue. So what happened last, like in last 16 months, just taking over the country, Dr. Yunus, all the fundamental leaders, all the terrorist groups have been get bailed out.
Yeah.
You see, uh, the minority has tremendous attack on the minority forum. That is, and the most uh, uh, sad thing is that like that was not that was that has been branded as an India propaganda. Like, so a country is facing a minority kind of cleansing, and this very country is claiming another country being the propaganda source. So that's how he ran the country. But what I think that like his image has been shattered due to his own acts last 16 months, and now people can understand and why how he get this back. Actually, that isn't like it's not it will be tough to answer that question, because how the uh, peace Nobel laureates destroy the country is a myth for the entire world actually. So you see recently in Venezuela what is going to happen, you see in our neighboring country Myanmar what happened over there. So uh, that is a real question, not for me, but for the entire world, how this actually Nobel Peace worked. I'm not blaming all, like we have other Peace Nobel laureate, they actually did work for the people, but whenever an uh, economist, MD of MD of a bank get Nobel in peace category, who don't have any significant contribution under peace. So that creates some sort of doubt, and we are like, it's our sad that Dr. Yunus, we have that Nobel laureate in our country.
Right, but you were part of national security intelligence, okay, and you're part of the NSI in Bangladesh. Did you guys not know that something like this is brewing? How did the August uprising happen? It started with a certain protest around a certain legislation and also uh, giving of jobs, and it started with a court order, right? It started with a court
Right.
order. It started with the students' protest. But how did it result in an overturning of the government? How is it that Sheikh Hasina, her team, they didn't know?
So,
Huh.
as a editor officer, I must say it's an intelligent failure as a whole. The government apparatus, the all the uh, state stakeholders, they are responsible for the security and other stuff. They failed because, like, obviously there is conspiracies over there. Obviously, the vested interested group over there who actually make the killings over the time. Because, like, you see, whenever the first killing happened, in most probably in 16th July. But the thing that you know that like the conspiracy started before, even before the first killing.
Hmm.
If you can remember, in 12th July, the US from US White House correspondence press conference, there was an announcement that two people was killed during this
Yeah.
ongoing uprising in Bangladesh. At the time, no such thing happened in Bangladesh. Like still then, it was a kind of peaceful demonstration. So government should be aware of this red flag whenever this sort of miscommunication, messages like appeared. It need to be dealt very carefully, very seriously. But somehow the government apparently, including the intelligence, I must say, failed at the time. Obviously, they failed to protect the real demonstrator who really go for their a real cause, like for the what I can say, like quota reformation or other stuff. So the quota reformation was actually done by the court way before, but still the demonstration was going on and on whenever the vested interested group interfere over there. But I'm not going in detail, but I must say there is failure from intelligence department as well as the security forces to deal the situation, but they are not the part of the killings or something like that. But whenever you're in power, it's your responsibility to protect this sort of conspiracy.
Hmm.
So
True,
we have
but
that
the army also did not seem to back Sheikh Hasina. The army also somewhere said, "Pack your bags and leave." That's where
right.
the indication is. And Madam Prime Minister has given us a return interview where she said that the situation was such that either I save lives by leaving the country, or I sacrifice lives, more lives, by staying in the country. And that's the choice the army gave me. So that's what she has said in that written interview to us. But uh, you know, at that
Like
yeah. Mm.
if you see the progression of the cases, like progression of the protest, the initially, as I said, the misinformation of initial killing and the how the just initially the 5 or 6 killing and how the situation abruptly goes south. the demonstrators just started destroying public property, government property, state property, and over there. So at that time, it was the not only the army, it was the law enforcing agencies' duty to control this, to mitigate this situation. And as Honorable Prime Minister says that he wants to save more life because uh, I think he said this because the then government never tried to use political power to control this narrative.
Mm.
You understand what I mean? Like he didn't just put the political power, party man or something like that over there. He basically rely on the law enforcement agencies. This need to be done actually. The sort of demolition or something like that is law enforcement agencies first duty to control that. If not, then the army came forward for any situation
Yeah.
goes so the army didn't play their role because it is under their hand this country actually goes to the some sort of to the betrayal, so they don't play according to the book because by their code of conduct they should act to not only protect the government, they should protect the people of the country, they should protect the public property of the country. The army failed to do that.
Mm.
Intentionally, they were silent, as we currently said. And the way the things happened after 5th August, it is a clear
Yeah.
indication that army was a part of this gig actually as a whole. Because
Mm.
and if you can remember that Volker Turk, the Human Rights Commission chairman, he publicly announced that I don't know whether it is his under his um, uh, like uh, duty or not, he publicly spoken that they called army at the time that if army intervene, then they will be ruled out from peacekeeping mission or something like that. So the international actor kind of threats to Bangladesh army, and the Bangladesh army that the
Mm.
leading position who are at the time, they take the safer option for peacekeeping mission rather than protecting the public property. And it's not only about public property. At that time, there are some sort of killing over there. That's for sure. So if the law enforcement agency and army act accordingly by law, they should protect more lives at that time. That's why Honorable Prime Minister says that rather staying here, it would be better to live to save more lives. Because at the time, the situation was like that. To as army is not acting,
Mm.
the law enforcement agency is not acting. The last hope for the political party is to bring on your own party men
Right.
to control that. And being the largest political party of the country, being more than 35% support in the country, it would be not that much tough to act politically based on this country. But Honorable Prime Minister did not want that to
Mm.
face his own countrymen one after one another after another.
See, now one of the biggest concerns is whether Muhammad Yunus will call for interim elections and will these elections be free and fair? Now we're looking up to February. Awami League stands banned. Sheikh Hasina stands sentenced to death. And, there is huge pressure on Bharat to try and extradite her. And it's a diplomatic standoff by default.
Yeah.
A lot of Awami League loyalists, workers, office bearers have had to flee the country. They are either in jail, most of the MPs are in jail, minority leaders have been hacked and killed, or they are in jail. A lot of the other leaders have run away from the country and they are in hiding in different places. Again, looking over their shoulder because you don't know when they may be bumped off or what would
Right.
happen. So it's a threat. Now, what happens from here?
uh, the inclusive election under this illegitimate and illegitimate unconstitutional interim government is a dream actually. As I say, if you have to treat Dr. Yunus from 5th
Mm.
August 2024 and you get many answer from that, yeah.
Yeah.
So the way they conduct the verdict, that give you an indication how actually things gonna happen. If
Mm.
there are some student organization like Daksu, Chaksu and Ucharaksu, that is Russia University Student Union, Dhaka University Student election over there, how that election actually propagated over the time. So basically, inclusive, how you can call an election inclusive whenever at least 35% people of that country are not only just they don't take part in the election, currently they are either internally displaced or they had to flee the country to save their
Mm.
life. So there, basically, currently there is not any sort of peaceful political situation or peaceful political transition situation in Bangladesh. And if you talk about the election, like uh, I don't know how they are thinking that that election could be conducted. Like in Bangladesh, in the last election, there are 44,000 center used for the election as an polling center. There is not nothing. That sort of preparation is going on over there. Like so, they are talking about an election in February 15 or February in first phase of February, and it has been like I'm talking on the 2nd December. So it is less than 2.5 months, but the election manifesto has not even given an election date has been announced. There is not no such sort of preparation. So if an election happened, that would be a like camouflage orchestrated election like the 16-month happened. But
Mm.
basically, at present, there is no situation for conducting a peaceful election. And from my side, from my understanding, there is actually no preparation moving forward the election process.
But then,
The
how
pre-
will things change?
like you see what happened in
Is there a
last.
return to democracy then? Is there a return to parity then? What happens to Bangladesh
So what I think that, as I said, Dr. Yunus and like very much cunning person. As I study him for long, I understand that I at least study more than 20,000 page regarding him based on all of his company's files and other stuff. So I can read him a bit. Basically, he's weighing the opportunities are over here. Like as you can remember that, like initially, just taking from his account in last December 2024. So there he gave an interview. He barely gave interview to Bangladesh media. He barely have public appearances over there. He gave an interview to Nurul Amin, one of the leading journalists of Bangladesh. So at the place that he said that I am not functioning at all. Nurul Amin asked how your interim is working, how your colleagues are working. He said that how we can judge my colleagues whether I am personally I cannot doing my part good. Immediate after that, there was a campaign that we want Yunus for 5 years. His press secretary, the propagandist, Mr. Shofiq, he set up a campaign for like people want Dr. Yunus for 5 years. When Dr. Yunus himself told 2 days earlier that he going to function, maybe just trying out. If it works. If it doesn't work, I have nothing to say. It's our bad luck. He publicly told this
then?
sort of like statement, makes the type of statements, but after that. So basically, from that now today, IRI, if there is an interesting research outcome today. IRI has speaking that like 70% people are pleased with that interim government. So this sort of mockery, this sort of like it's kind of part of the propaganda. So still, Dr. Yunus is trying some opportunity to elongate his time, how much more he can actually, if not February, maybe June, not June, maybe in December, he basically trying his money and he got Jamaat under his sleeve. So whenever Jamaat and NCB, his newly formed King's Party, they are totally with him because like Jamaat is having the even the best time of their days. Even Jamaat didn't have that good time in Pakistan ever in their entire organizational history because it's a Pakistani party, right? So Jamaat having their best time. NCP, the young guns, they are like earning money a lot. So they have a big. The only BNP is the party they are moving into election. They thought they could be the obviously if Amili can't participate being the one of the big largest country of the country, they're going to take the power. But the thing is that just for the sake of this forming a government or getting into the power, you see BNP for last 16 or 17 months didn't speak a single bit for the country of the for the sake of the people of the country. Like we have significant development. Like if 2 days back there was a price hike in the oil price hike. a week back there was like 89% hike in gas prices for fertilizer companies. So over the time, people are living a miserable life. Not only the Awami League people, the overall people, the pricing of the commodity price and the security situation is very much worse. Like we have NDA signed, our port has been given away to foreign companies. We have an NDA signed with USA. We did not know the what is the condition of what they are. So the way the country has been split away to the multiple stakeholder, BNP, as they claim they do produce for the people, and they never utter a single word against any
Yeah.
anti people initiative of this interim regime. They just yes boss type stretchers because they just want to go to the power. So as Dr. Yunus had Jamaat and NCB, his slave, Dr. Yunus kind of some sort of playing BNP. So he is buying money
Now,
until
Begum Khaleda
yes,
Zia is also not keeping well. So
yes,
there is a question on her ability to be able to come as a face also. You know, they are the two most powerful
exactly.
faces, Sheikh Hasina ji
Right,
and Khaleda Zia.
right.
So she's not keeping well. The other thing is he's an old man, Muhammad Yunus. He's 80 plus. You think he has so much faculty and to be able to orchestrate all this, or is it somebody else who's pulling the strings,
Like
operating from the shadows?
uh, from his very beginning life, all thing was built by a group of people, not an individual people. Like as I say, he has a tremendous amount of money under his capacity. So he hired people whenever he needed. Like if it is for like writing a book, writing a biography, getting a prize, getting into the Olympic podium, he have the people. If you money, his quality is that he know for where to go to buy anything. So here's the money industry. He go in that. But having said that, like obviously his peer group, after forming the government, he has brought all his old companies along himself. Like he brought Ashik, who was the uh, ex-director of Grameen Telecom Trust, Lamia Murshid, his long-time ally, the chairman of Yunus Center, the Nurjan Begum, he's one of the his long-time ally. He was the board member of Grameen Bank and Grameen Telecom. He has become the health advisor. So Dr. Yunus always keep his people around himself. That is an I must say it's a good quality for him. Like he keep his people well. So and his like nephew is over there as the press secretary. So he brought good people. He has money. He has peer company, and he would he send over people to some good position in like as press minister in UK, as press minister in USA. He made like diplomats, appoint diplomats under his close ones in different countries. Now, basically, uh, he developed a string of beneficiaries. So now they are acting on their behalf. Like you see, after this government form, the whole judiciary changes. The new people are coming over there. So now they are actually acting on their own benefit. Like a deputy secretary, he just become the joint secretary or additional secretary over 2 or 3 months. Now this very person who get tremendous benefit by this regime now acting by himself to just keep his position. So that's how actually it's currently working. And obviously, like the if I told the Western or whatever, like you can tell, like USA backers, obviously he has good connection with Clinton Foundation. That is not an myth or that is not unlike a hide and seek. He even being the head of the government, he go to the UNGA meeting and then he participated in a Clinton Foundation program where this is so famous, like it's a meticulous design theory was given over there. So obviously he have good people over there. But interesting thing that is like that you can see that the way people thought that like US president, US prime minister, UK president, UK prime minister, everyone is under his like sleeve. It can come out anytime he needed. They doesn't act actually that way in last 16 months. He have apology over there. He have beneficiary group over there. But the way he's conducted like his foreign visit, we don't see any foreign like president or prime minister come forward to receive him. So he didn't get that much welcome in the his foreign visit, so-called foreign state visit. Basically, those visits were on his personal visit. He used it
Okay,
under name.
final two or three questions. One is his engagement with Pakistan. How is it that the Pakistanis are present there? The ISI is present there. This entire art of triumph, this whole greater Bangladesh narrative, where is it? Is it coming from him? Is it coming from somebody else that he's presenting all of Bharat's northeast is going to be part of a greater Bangladesh? Or is he himself quite radical that way?
Uh, as a person, he's not. He's the like beneficial. He's just looking for the benefit always. Like so, he you cannot like ridiculous, but the way he had, like in Bangladesh, being in public service and even priorly before in political arena, I know that basically in Bangladesh, anti-India is an weapon of politics,
Hmm.
a group of people over there. So whenever you don't have any weapon over any stronghold among you, the people, you can just go for the Indian sentiment and you can catch a bit of attention over there. You see, before even taking over the head of chief advisor post, Dr. Yunus sitting in France, he in the interview he told that like if India Bangladesh is not like if Bangladesh situation goes worse, then that will be not helpful for India. Their northeastern region will be hampered or something like that. So from the very beginning, Dr. Yunus, as I said, he always looking for the benefits. From the very beginning, like listen, Dr. Yunus is an NGO people. He has a foreign backer, everything, but basically in Bangladesh political arena, he don't have any people. He's tried to have create one political party. He failed. So whenever he get that opportunity to being the head of the government, he look into the void where he need to fill up. He found that if I go for the India now, I will get Jamaat on board on my sleeve. That is simple theory. So he started from the very beginning into Indian statement, and then he got Jamaat on his sleeve. And basically, the Pakistani saga, the ISI press, everything, it's basically orchestrated by Jamaat.
Hmm.
And they have the like very chronological development over the time, how Jamaat treated, how Jamaat, it's not like uh, in every stage you get the blueprint structure, how Jamaat acts and how Pakistani continually started, like Pakistani ambassador getting the one of the like high profile um, uh,
Hmm.
campaign and uh, uh, publication in Bangladesh. Jamaat leader just continually going over there. So basically, it's Jamaat and Dr. Yunus go for India mostly to onboard Jamaat on his sleeve to make a counter check with BNP and other stuff. So basically,
Yeah.
it's his political geek, not like he's a radicalized, but for his
He's
own
playing
sake,
this game so
he
that he can stay. So the
yes,
Jamaat
for
operates
sure.
in the shadows, and he's the front for the West, like you said.
Exactly. That's
So
my
then,
understanding. That's my
my,
understanding.
my final question: is there a return for Sheikh Hasina? Is there a comeback for the Awami League anywhere possible? What happens next? Final question.
For sure there will be comeback for sure because like you can't like silence the more than 35% people of a country and 30 when I was talking about 35%, it's more than 4 crore people. There is even there is not that much country in the world who has more 4,000 crore people, like so the way this interim government, the operation is going on, it's not only hampering destroying the life of Awami League partymen, it also destroying the life of mass people. So currently there is an not currently people are gradually people realize the what is going on over there. But so there is no straight cut or shortcut process to come forward. But the thing is that Awami League being the largest party, you see, after 75, when Father of the Nation was brutally killed along with his family, nobody thought Awami League would come back. But over the time, for the public demand, so this time also Awami League will come back with the public demand. And within just 1.5 hours, the way Awami League has creating the narratives, the way Awami League has reshaping their political shipping. I mean, the way they are currently banned, their entire organization banned, still they much so much active in their capacity. So the way they are currently organizing their political party, political activities, pretty sure they will come back, and it will be through political demand, no like shortcut like this sort of false flag
Uprising.
demonstration.
Yeah.
Yeah, false
Correct.
uprising, but
It
it
should
will
be
come through public demand.
from
And
public
I'm
demand
for
and
sure I'm
people.
very much public demand of people, and uh, people, to be very honest, if you just, I think you have obviously your people over there in Bangladesh, you just go to the general mass people, like under whose rule or role he was, they were good. So people now, people can realize the role of Sheikh Hasina. Whenever he was power, many people did not understand, like the development, the way country moving forward, the way women empowered happened, the way all the development happened. People kind of had some sort of thought that like it was doing automatically, but last 1 year, 1.5 year, they understand the thing. And another thing is that, like, obviously, as being party 16 long year Aumi League was in the party. Whenever you in the party for so long, there are some sort of anti-incumbency over there, some sort of obviously negativity is over there, no doubt about that. But last 1.5 year, the way Aumi League people, Aumi League member has been brutally suppressed. Now they are on the other side of the coin. Now they are getting that sympathy that, like, within just 16 months, this party has been these people has been so much like brutally suppressed. So now people are getting the attention, they are getting the sympathy, they are feeling for the leadership of honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and through public demand, through regular political activities, Amila will come back.
Well, let's hope it's for the better of Bangladesh that democracy returns to Bangladesh. There should be whoever is in power should be free and fairly and rightfully elected by the people of Bangladesh and not by a coterie of entities or power brokers. That's what we stand for. Aminul Polash, thank you for speaking with us and being so candid and open about the conversation. Thank you very, very much. Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you.